So Hands-on 3 and Hands-on 4, you're going to do on your own. You are going to download this little routing practice app and kind of work through the book. So this is going to be fairly simple, a little easier than what we actually did together. So I don't think you guys are going to have too many problems with it. If you are confused about anything, just ask. Because I actually worked through it. So I certainly can help you if you get confused. And then on your own, we are going to continue working on your term project. So at this point, you should have one model class, and you should have generated controllers and views. And so what I would like you to do is create a second model. And then you need to relate the two. So you're going to take the primary key from one of them and put that into the other one as a foreign key. And the music app, I actually did this in here. So if you're like, oh, that was a couple weeks ago, I don't remember how to do that. If you look at album, I have several foreign keys in here. So genre is a foreign key. So if you remember, you have to basically add the property, and then to indicate that it is a foreign key, your return data type and the property are the class name. So these two things together tell it that you've got a foreign key. And remember, with the foreign keys, you take the primary key from one of the tables and you put it into the other one. And you only need the relationship one way. I would not take my album and stick it into genres because then I'd get an error when I would try to do migrations. Okay, so you only want the relationship one way. So you'll notice that genre is a foreign key and artist is a foreign key. Okay, so in my artist class, I don't have a foreign key. Okay, in my genre class, I do not have a foreign key because I took the primary key from both of those and I put it into album. Okay, so you are going to need to do something similar. And if you get confused or you need help, please let me know. Once you have that foreign key set up, then you're going to want to modify your context. So remember, you need a DB set for every single class that you want converted into a table. And then for the seed data, you have to basically put the data into those primary key tables before you put the data into the foreign key table. So artist and genre are my primary key tables. They have to be populated first, and then album is using genre and artist as a foreign key. So when I put the genre and the artist into my album table, I have to use values that exist. So I've got 10 artist IDs. I cannot put in artist ID 11. They don't exist. And for the genres, I've got 13 of them. I could not put in genre ID 20 because it does not exist. Okay, so you are going to want to update your seed data and make sure that you're creating a table for your new model class. And once you've done all of that, then you can perform migrations. So you are going to have to add a migration. and you can just call it, like second model or something like that. And then you're going to need to update the database because that is actually going to get that new table into the database. If you run into trouble, you can always go into your app settings, modify the name a little bit, and then update database, and it should just generate a whole new database for you. Let's see. Once the migrations are done and you've verified that you have both tables, then you can go ahead and generate the controllers and views for that new model or that new table that you created. You may need to customize the views a little bit. I did that in the music store because it was the index for albums. It was not showing the genre name or the artist name. It was showing the ID. That is not user friendly. So I went in, I changed it so it showed the name. Hey, just little tweaks like that will make it much more user friendly. Then you're going to modify your layout to include the index for the new controller. Okay, and once you get done with that, you're going to save everything and add it to GitHub. And then you will need to add the URLs for the music store, for this routing practice, and for your term project. Make sure you add those all to the Dropbox. Let me know if you have any questions or if you run into problems.